It's all of the above of what you just said. Literally all of the above. Oh, you change people, you change places, you change things. Boom, done. I'm going to do that. It's literally, it's going and asking for help.
Eric, you made a interesting point about fear.
And a lot of times that fear right on the other side of it is the most amazing feeling you're ever going to feel in your life. Time kills all deals. You got to speed to the lead, man.
Every day that you wake up, going back 14 years when you took that last drug, and now you're the new version of you. How did you, was it people that helped you? Was it self-discipline books that helped you? Was it just strictly your mindset and your affirmations that you did?
It's all of the above of what you just said. Literally all of the above. Going back to when the pain gets great enough, right? We change. But for the first time in my life, I realized my way did not work. What I was doing, I couldn't keep myself clean. I couldn't be successful. Like everything I was doing, I was like, all right, shit, I've been trying this for 28 years. My way is not the way. So for the first time, and I said it a little ways back, I just started taking suggestions. I would get around people that had what I had. In the beginning, it was to stay clean. I went to people that had years clean. What did you do? What did you do to get 3 years clean? Oh, you change people, you change places, you change things. Boom, done. I'm going to do that. Right? And then I get into a call center. When I got into my first call center, I was full of social anxiety. I had self-doubt. I had phone fear. I had all of that. Like I did not jump on the phones and have that, where I could sell water to a damn whale. I wasn't that person. I wasn't that guy. So what did I do? I got into my first call center and I went to the people that were having success. How did you do this? Like literally, so it's getting for me anyways, my circle got real small because I had to cut damn near everybody out of my life, including very close family members. I had to cut people out of my life. And then I just started taking suggestions. Literally, it's going and asking for help. That's what I have done and I still do today. If somebody has what I want, I go to them and I get that information and I implement it into my life.
Eric, you made a interesting point about fear. Fear of the phones, fear of this. What are the biggest misconceptions around fear that you feel like people have?
The biggest misconceptions around fear. Well, you can't let it rule you. Fear is healthy, right? You're either going to live in it or you're going to push through it and it's going to motivate you. And a lot of times that fear right on the other side of it is the most amazing feeling you're ever going to feel in your life. Like legit, I remember the day I got clean, I had a fear of going out and facing reality. I had to take a pint of vodka, literally slam it just to have the courage to go outside. And I was fearful of doing that. But when I got outside, I made it to the train, I made it to a treatment center. My life got beyond my wildest dreams. When I got that first sales job, I had panic attacks on the way to my first day. But again, right on the other side of all of that, I had no clue what was waiting for me. No clue.
What would you say to somebody who is fearful to pick up the phone and prospect a stranger? What would be the one tip that you would say, other than just pick up the phone and call? Clearly they don't have that ambition, but what would you say to them to be able to conquer that fear?
To conquer the fear, okay. Well, one, repetition is king. Repetition is king. You got to do it. Two, I'm a firm believer in scripts. So for the person that is fearful, if they don't have a script in front of them that they know is tried and true, then they're just winging it, right? My office right now, I have a 12-page script. So, excuse me, it's like your favorite movie. Your favorite movie, the most high-paid actors, they still have a script. They still have a script that they go off of. So for anybody that's getting ready to jump on the phones, like I would search for a script. I would find somebody that has a script that's used it, has had results with it, and practice that thing like your life depends on it. And then as soon as you understand it, you can rehearse it. You put your own personality into it. Before you know it, you're just absolutely crushing it.
I hope everyone heard that. Practice like your life depends on it. I'm going to steal that. Thank you, Eric. That's a good one.
I remember when I jumped into my first call center, and man, my wife would vouch for everything that I say. Is I knew I wasn't the most talented person in this call center that I worked in when I first started out in the game. There was over 200 people in this company, all on the phone. And I remember taking my scripts at home at night, and I would pace the living room, literally in a circle, just reading it to my girlfriend, now my wife, Shyla. Let's just call her Shyla. I'd literally walk in a circle and for hours because I wanted to make sure when I went in the next day, I was better than I was the day before. And for anybody that is getting started in phone sales, you can be taught to sell. People are not naturally born this way. I promise you that. There's a difference between having the gift of gab, where you can just socialize and talk to people, and actually closing deals.
Correct.
Right? So you can be taught this.
I do believe you can be taught this. And kind of one of my first questions is, we are in phone sales. We're all in phone sales between us three right here. But when you are in phone sales and you're calling random people, do you follow up with people to get the deals, or do you just make one phone call and like, oh, I hope it happens? Because you know what, I have a couple more questions that popped in my head about this, but I want to know about the follow-up side, how to actually make the contact. Are you following up 5, 10, 15 times, or are you making the sale the first time? Because I think a lot of people have the misconception it happens on the first call within the first 3 minutes, and that's how you're going to make that $200,000 spread right there. So talk a little bit about your follow-up with this with phone sales.
You see the bat, right? You see the bat.
Yeah, I know what the bat does too. I've seen it go into the side.
You know the purpose of that bat?
Is as many at bats as possible. You can swing
beat out of these leads. That's what that bat's for. And this is why. Will you get a deal here and there on a first call? Yeah. Are you going to make a living or get wealthy off of that? Absolutely not. You're going to go broke, and you're going to be the low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of people in sales. So the money is in the follow-up. To answer your question very specifically, is every single month we get 5 to 10 deals in my wholesale operation where the lead is 6 months to a year old. 5 to 10 deals. And it all comes from follow-up. I just had a group of people in my office either last weekend or the weekend before, and I was showing them how many touch points it took to close this deal we funded on last month it was either $40,000 to $60,000 deal. There was 56 touch points, and we pitched this lead 3 times. They rejected our offer all 3 times. Their time and circumstances changed. We got them back on the phone, and it became let's just call it a $40,000 deal for us. But the lead was over 365 days old.
Wow.
How many leads, Eric, then to get that deal flow of 5 to 10 in a month? How many leads are coming into your company per month to get that deal flow?
Yeah, so we are pretty much 95% a wholesale operation is what we do here. We're doing anywhere between 40 to 50 contracts a month, and we will fund on anywhere from 50 to 55% of those. Okay, just so you know the lay of the land. The 2 lead sources that we use is we outsource cold calling and we do some paid ads. So every single day in our office, we're getting between 40 to 50 leads a day. Now, so we get 40 to 50 leads. On cold call data, we convert every 31 leads to a contract in our office. So every 31 leads that come in from a cold caller, we get a contract. Every 10 leads that come from our paid ads, we get a contract.
And would you say that when the lead comes in, do you let it sit there for 3, 4, 5, 10 hours before somebody decides to pick it up? Or do you believe in the concept of speed to lead? And
time kills all deals. You got to speed to the lead, man.
I left that out because I was hoping you were going to say it.
Yeah, time kills all deals. The hardest part about this industry right here, and I quickly figured this out when I jumped into this space, is the hardest part about this specific industry, the wholesale industry, or even being a realtor, is all the amateurs that are out there that screw it up before we ever get to that homeowner. All of the phone calls that they get, all of the false promises that they get. And then when we finally get them on their phone, their skepticism is so high, their guard is fully up. So it takes a professional to be able to lower that skepticism, lower that guard, and get that person to like you, trust you, and ultimately want to do business with you.
Yeah, that's a mic drop right there, guys. Okay?
Yes.
We gotta,
Yeah.
I mean, that right there, if there's any value you're getting from this call or from this session, is that right there. I mean, that's beautifully said. So now transitioning to money and abundance, okay? Because let's say you're now getting the deal flow. Let's transition. So we're talking about the amateurs. Now let's go to the professional side. For guys like yourself, or maybe about to get to your level, and let's say you could be single, have a family, doesn't matter, but now you're making some money. Okay, what are the biggest misconceptions that you feel like people have around money and abundance?
Well, one, it's the only misconceptions that are out there are the ones that do not have it. Let's just get that very straight. Because anybody that would be listening to this that has it does not have that misconception. So for the ones that have it, one, but you wake up and smell the goddamn roses, you're wrong. But the ripple effect that it has on you, your loved ones, your friends, your family, what it can do for your business, what you can donate, like it's not even a misconception. It's the people that don't have it don't understand it, and that's okay. That is completely okay. They don't understand it, but I just look at it, what it's been able to do for me. I will just last Christmas, my wife, my 2 kids, we flew out to Hawaii, and I did not know this, but my wife flew my mother and father out to Hawaii. My mother was the lady that was crying saying, leave him alone, he's dead, he's already passed away. Now 14 years later, I get to give my mother a freaking trip of a lifetime. I got to give her an experience she will never experience again. My father, a week prior to coming out to Hawaii, just beat prostate cancer. And it's like, without having money, I'm sorry, that type of experience does not exist. It doesn't.
It gives you options that you don't normally have, right?
Yeah, it gives you options, man. I don't have to, God forbid something were to happen to somebody that I absolutely love today. Like, they're going to be okay. I will take care of that person. So, I don't know about a misconception. Those are the people that just ain't got it.
Yeah. And so, okay, now your schedule. You now have a different probably schedule than you did when you started this whole wholesaling game that you've obviously created for yourself. What did it look like in the beginning, and how does it compare to what you're doing now from a schedule perspective?
Yeah, great question.
Schedule. With a hoodie.
Yeah. So here over the last, I don't know how many months, the one thing I can say is here over the last, let's just call it 6 months, my wife and I have been waking up at 5 to 5:30 in the morning, and it's been the best thing for my marriage. For the simple fact, we go on a 30 to 45 minute walk with me and my wife, and we are more connected right now as a couple than we have ever been in 14 years. I mean, when I say we are aligned, her and I are doing this truly doing this together for the first time. And I will say this, my life has gotten so much easier because she's not behind me, she's right beside me. And like, we're doing this damn thing called life and business together. We have created a life around what we are doing. So we wake up at 5 in the morning, we go on a walk. Every single morning, I eat breakfast with my family. It's me, my wife, my son. We sit at a table, we eat breakfast. And then I am typically at my office an hour before anybody shows up. And I have been doing that now for over 14 years. And I used to have a company in Fort Lauderdale where I had over 150 people working with me in my office. And I was always the first one there. And the reason I live by that is the very first call center I ever worked in, I was so hungry and anxious to get my life going. I was the first person to show up at that company and I would have to wait for somebody to let me in. So I said, the day I started my company, I said, no one will ever have to wait to be eager to get in the doors here. So I beat everybody to my office by 1 hour. Now in that hour, what it allows me to do is I sit and I look at KPIs, key performance indicators. I go over everybody's dials. I go over everybody's talk time. I go over how many leads we have in. I go over how many leads we've converted. I look at how many offers we have out. So I really analyze the KPIs when I'm sitting here by myself. And then the day gets off and running. I'm right now running a wholesale operation. I have a call center in Pakistan. I have my brand and I offer my CRM. I license my CRM out. So I run 4 different companies really from this office. And then after the day ends, I go to the gym right across the office. I work out, I go home and I eat dinner with my family. We all sit at a table, we eat dinner every single night. And then I spend some family time.